Anna, it's your turn again to introduce our next speaker. So we're going to have a presentation entitled A Garden in the Sky. Up to you. Mr. Ledol.
Okay, get ready for rock and roll. Nothing else I can say to you. So this episode, last episode, and one of the most beautiful in my life started, Jesus, was it 2 years ago, Jeanne? 2 years ago, when a young couple knocked on my door and they were like, Chef, you know, we are a couple, I'm French-Canadian and I'm Italian, and we moved to Srednje, which is a forgotten village in the middle of Kolowrat, and yeah, we would like to do gardens on 900 meters in a very specific microclimate, because on the one side there is like Julian Alps, but really like you just turn and they're there, and on the other side there is the sea. But you know, in these places the nature really goes wild. Like when it rains, when there is sun, it's sun. And I was like, wow, and I got curious because they were so knowledgeable, and maybe they will tell a little bit more about their story. And this is how it went. So we started in well, they planted for what I thought I need. How do you know what the land can give on 900 meters? And today I think we are more a family than really like working one for each other. Whenever I go to the farm, I feel the happiest person on the planet. There are parents of 2 small kids who live on the farm and eat from the farm. Like Romeo probably is breastfed directly from the vegetables that his mom is eating from the garden. And little Lou that you won't see because she's pretty crazy child. She's babysitted now because she's really, really natural. When I'm there, she's like picking the plants from the garden and eating even my children who are 18 would never do something like that. The message they will give you is going to be actually connected to the round table. I would like to bring you to some questions and a lot of questioning afterwards. These are 2 of the most beautiful people I ever met. Beautiful, hardworking. Jeanne, the day she had the last baby, actually brought the vegetables to the restaurant with the newborn Romeo. And I believe between Matteo and her, they are kind of a future of what should happen with the planet. Listen to them carefully, ask a lot of questions, because I really believe it's worth.
I'm going to sit down.
Okay, we have a little bit, I wrote a little bit of things, and I'm sorry that maybe I'm going to read sometimes because I was maybe a little bit shy or no. And we had like so much things that we wanted to speak about, and I wanted to be, to follow some kind of pattern. So we are Matteo and Jeanne, and we are living in Srednje. It's on the high hill of Soša Valley. We are foreigners. We came to Slovenia because we wanted to make macerated wine. We came to Slovenia because we really like the cepage that there is in Slovenia. We wanted to make skin contact white wine. And we think the soil of Slovenia, it's one of the best soil probably to grow vines. But then after a few years in Gorička Barda, we felt that winemaking was not natural enough for us. What I mean is that if you want to harvest grape, you have to spray anyway. Even if you're a natural winemaker and you want to spray the less as you can, you will have to spray. Actually, it's also forbidden by law not to spray. So you can always spray less, but you have to spray like a minimum even to follow the law. So because of that, it was not natural enough, but also because our idea of natural agriculture is also biodiversity. And when you are doing winemaking, of course, you can have like animals in the vineyard and stuff like that, but it's still a kind of monoculture also because of the region where the vines are grown. So that was not our idea of agriculture. So also too noisy, too busy for us, like wine region, a lot of bulldozer, tractor and stuff like that. So we decided to start looking in Slovenia for land that was we were looking for pristinity, we were looking for something untouched, but we were also looking for good land to make agriculture, so we needed sun, and a lot of land that are kind of, a lot of land inside Slovenia would be very good, very beautiful place, very natural, but not a lot of sun, a lot of rain, much shade, quite cold and humid as well, and then at some point moving around, we found this place in Srednje, so it's over canal, it's 15 kilometers from Kobarid, and it's 30 kilometers from Goriška Brda, more or less. It's very nearby Italian border. So we are cultivating vegetable there for our family, for neighbors, and for Isha Franco. And we are doing everything by hands. We have this 4 hectares of garden, and there's 10 hectares of wood. The wind is really sharp. All the fields are on very steepy. It's mountain, so there is nothing flat. There is very big gap of temperature between the day and the night. There's a lot of rain in some season. There is hail as well, so ice and everything. There is also dry season. So that's what we like, because this is terroir, and for us it's very important if we want to have like tasty vegetable, but we believe that that's also the reason why people left that village or that land 40 years ago, because there was no possibility of doing an economical, viable agriculture. That's not possible if you don't do it with another perspective. If you want to follow the law of the market, if you want to follow like the production that you have to follow to be able to live, you cannot grow 100 kilos of potatoes a year. You know, you have to grow 1,000 because the price of vegetable is quite low. So you have to find another value to your vegetable if you want to be able to live off manual work. So we're doing agriculture more as a political and an artistical commitment. So what we try to do, it's thinking about colorful beauty before high yield. So we're not thinking about like high production. We want to have vegetables that are full of emotion. So we are working by hands, as I said, following rhythm of a man, not the one of a tractor. We don't use machine. We don't have tractor. We are taking the time to be in intimacy with nature. We are living fully immersed in deep connection with our environment. We struggle and we sweat, but that's what built feeling and respect for what surrounded us. We are looking for symbiotic relation between the elements, between the things that are there. So that's why also we decided to have to keep goats. We keep these goats because they eat the grass, but also because they are beautiful in the landscape. It's a landscape like we have these breeds of goats that it's very wild, one of the wildest, they say. It's big black goat that is very similar to an autochthon goat of Slovenia, but those one are from Switzerland. It's Nera di Verzasca. So they are very beautiful in the landscape, and also it's useful for us because we can have the manure for the garden. We have milk for ourselves, and we are making cheese as well. They are also bringing back birds, because when you have animals, then they bring back good insects, and then they bring back birds that there were not anymore. There was a lot of people said also that before we went back back there was almost no bees anymore because there is a lot of biodiversity. There's a lot of things. There was also an old orchard of autochthon variety of plum, pear and apple. We made cider the first year. This year, unfortunately, with the weather, there is no fruit. But last year we made cider from this fruit, but there was a missing of bees because there was not enough flower anymore. So in the garden we plant a lot of flowers. We plant a lot of different variety, and what we are looking for, it's not to. We don't want to force nature. We don't want to decide really what we want to grow. We want to see what fits there, and we want to enhance what there is already. So we are trying to understand the nature instead of understand what the market wants, maybe. And so that's why also we work by hand, and we spend a lot of time with very close with nature, because we really want to understand by research or by time and studies, but studies with the land. I mean, we are not agriculture. We didn't study agriculture, or we are from rural part of the world. I mean, yeah, we have like a background of living in the nature, but we are not like a professional. We are still learning every day. So we also think that what feed really people, it's the energy and the emotion that there is inside the food. So that's why we commit ourselves so much to this vegetable, because we think that these things would be can be felt by the people that eat it, because there is our story behind, because there is our sweat, because there is our love, our passion in those ingredients, in the cheese we're making, in the vegetable that we grow, and in all the herbs and flour. And so we also think that nutrition is too mathematic right now. Like, it's all about portion. It's all about like what you can read on the box, numbers. It's all about vitamins, iron, all things that you cannot feel, all things that in the end you are reading and you have to believe because someone is telling you that there is this inside that. And that's not true that a tomato is a tomato, and that's not true that a bread is a bread. There's many kind of tomatoes, and there is many kind of bread, and the important thing is the way that this thing has been made, or this thing has been grown, and from who, and because there is a tomato that is empty, and there is a tomato that is full, and that's what people they have to understand. And this is not scale, or these things, it's not scaled by mathematics or by science. It's something that people can feel by smell, by taste, by color, deep color, bright color, and that's what is important. And of course, in fresh food, as a lot of people here spoke before, in fresh food, the nutrition, it's much more nutritious a vegetable that is fresh than a vegetable that is old, for example. So eating local for us, it's one of the most important things for sustainability, because you eat local and it's fresh, and also there is not all the waste that is related to like transportation and these kind of things. But most of all, because if you know who grow your food, or if you grow it yourself, you will be less alike to waste it. You won't have the idea probably to throw away some food that you bought from someone that you know, or like, if you feel the emotion in your food, you won't feel like throwing it away. The problem with food at the moment is probably that the food has no personality. So if we give back personality to food, then the people will waste it less, will probably stop to waste food. And there would be like food for everybody probably, and good food for everybody, if there would be no waste. And so that's the first problem to solve if we want good food for everybody. When I'm speaking about eating local, I don't mean eating traditional food. That's one of the observations we did on the farm. It's actually that eating traditional can be even a problem or like a danger for sustainability, because if you eat traditional food, then you force mass production in a certain way. And mass production, and also food that people are used to eat or eat quotidianly, they don't want to pay a high price for it. So the problem in eating traditional is the people, if they're used to pay, I don't know, 40 cents, because I've seen it for kiwi, then it's going to be difficult to change their mind about about the price. Another thing in traditional ingredient, it's that now the climate change, but also when you grow something for many years in the same place, then the pest and also the insect, the disease, they get adapted, and then you have to spray and you have to use chemical if you want to save your crop. So, for example, if we look, I mean, I speak about Goriška Brda because we spend time there and everything. There is the cherry, for example, and cherry it's a traditional fruit grown in this region. But if you don't spray cherries, then you cannot sell it. So that's the thing. Like the things that has been grown traditionally, now they have to be sprayed, so that's a problem. We have to find like other things to grow that we don't need to spray. We don't have to find solution to save the crop that are traditional, because maybe there's just not. Rotation is important, and rotation is not just about putting wheat there and then potatoes and this. We need to change the crop that we are growing, or go back to some crop that were grown in Slovenia, for example, before, that are not grown anymore. We went back to center of Slovenia and we grow Ida, buckwheat. We grow pruso, which is millet, and we grow flax. That is not grown almost by anybody anymore in Slovenia. And this it's very good for the soil. It's actually like pest-free. You have no disease, you don't need to spray it. For example, cabbage, we will grow other kind of brassicas, for example, Japanese green, that do not have insect almost, that are very robust and very rustic. And you don't have to spray, you don't have to put net, they are resistant to cold. So what we realize is that actually trying to grow crops from other countries, it's something very useful if you want to do like a natural kind of agriculture. For example, corn, spinach will need a lot of water to grow, a lot of manure as well, fertilizer. And in fact, there is a lot of spinach or salad or leafy greens that are from Mexico or that are from India that almost not need water in the summer, that you don't have to water. And that's something very important, because now, like, also watering in the summer, it's a real problem. There is not enough water. You can't grow stuff that needs water and respect nature. It's impossible, because there's always, in any way, if you do mass production or if you grow something in big quantity, you will have to force nature. So that's why over this last year we tried to grow 400 different varieties, all heirloom, like all heritage seeds, so no hybrids. We grow everything by seeds. We collect our seeds as well, so the plant will be always more adapted and more strong to the weather of Srednje, to this very specific environment. And so that's why we try so many varieties, because we want to see what suit well naturally in this place, what we don't have to water too much, what we don't have to spray, what doesn't have like insect, and also growing a lot of things help each other, and also if you lose something, then you still have another one, and you can play with that. So that's our way of doing agriculture. We think biodiversity is very important, like diversity in all aspects of our life, in our society and everything. Diversity is not something to be afraid about. Actually, it's the strength, and we have to work on that. Like in our society, like in our field, in our garden, it needs to be. You need to have like a lot of different things if you want to follow nature or respect nature. And yeah, that's it. You want to speak?
She's the woman of the place, so she looks after the kids. And the seeds. Sorry. Seeds and kids. And I'm the guy who goes down to the valley with a big car, you know, like the guy who knows about how to make petrol and put petrol in the car and stuff like that. So daily I got like a lot of struggle, I go, yeah, I'm the guy who brings the daughter to school, right? And all the time, I always got this, I just briefly go to the, I know, I thought it was my friend. Actually, it wasn't me. I got a friend with a daughter, actually, who told me that. And so I look at the board, and I look what they eat at school, right? I know many people talk about that already, but, I'll talk about my, small reality, what we do every day. We live in a place with a lot of greens, like a lot of, like all the people, as Anna said all the time, like there's a lot of people, they grow their own vegetables somehow, like not to stand the whole year, but like they kind of, they kind of survive with their, like sort of garden. And I go to school and I see that I'm not joking, 95% of the food is meat-based, all right? So it's meat. Sometimes I can see 3 kinds of meats for lunch. It's weird, eh? Like combo chicken, it's like a McDonald's. Anyway, and but I don't have time, I'm so busy, sometimes I skip that, it's my fault. I just look on the other side and I go like, yeah, who cares, like she comes back home and in the evening or the afternoon she will have fruit and vegetables. But I know the teachers, they are kind of worried because she eats bread only, because that's what she eats, and yogurt. And they kind of look at me like I'm sort of the weirdo of the village, and I'm like the hippie guy, because if you eat vegetables, you're hippie, right? If you decide to have like a plant-based somehow, like diet, you are an hippie, right? You're not a normal person. So normal person are the meat eater, right? We are the weirdest, like with tattoos and I guess, like, especially at school, like snack time and lunch, it's good to have vegetables, because I'm sure 90% of the people will eat meat at home the night. So if we go over 4 or 5 lunches a week of meat plus 5 the night, it means 10. Fuck, it's not healthy for me, it's not healthy for you guys. That is the thing, like that. It doesn't matter the quality of the meat, right? So plant-based diet means that you always have the chance to grow your stuff. Not all the people can have cows at home, but you can grow your vegetables, right? So what we're trying to do is to give seeds to friends and say, like, try to grow this one, try to eat it, see how it goes, like, let's share the seeds and let's share the experience and stuff. We can't do it with goats. I can't give goats to my friends and pretend they will look after them. And that is all connected with my doctor. Not my doctor, because I don't have a doctor, because I'm, cool. I got a daughter doctor, because they forced me to go to the doctor. And my younger son is 3 months old. The first question I had from the doctor, bless her, I won't say the name, so you'll find it on the internet anyway, was, is he healthy? And I said, I don't know, you are the doctor, but yeah, I guess, like, what can I say is, yeah, he's a healthy kid. He cries, he eats, shit, and sleep. So I'm sure that's what they do. And she said, is Jeanne still breastfeeding? I said, yes, that's good. And she knows that we are kind of vegetarian, like mostly we eat vegetables. And she goes, I know the face is changing, like a little bit like crying. And she goes like, what you want to do? And about what? Like education. I want him to be like an engineer. I don't know. Yeah, it's too small. What you going to do with food? So she's already kind of, building the highway, so to go straight to tell me the question. That is the second time he did it to me, because I had another daughter before. And is he gonna eat meat? I was like, wow, maybe. I don't know, not at home. No, because we don't believe that meat is good or no. We just don't eat it. So why eat something that we don't eat? I mean, I'll buy some. I mean, like when you cook for your family, you cook for your own family, right? So the things that you eat are the things that you eat, right? I'm not gonna do special. I don't have time. Yeah, we grow stuff as well, and we spend 15 to 18 hours a day in the garden. So we don't have time to do like a specific happy meal to all the guys. And he said, meat is very important in a baby's diet, right? And I said, why? And she said, because of iron, right? And I said, cool, okay. So which kind of meat? You are the doctors, I'm the uncultured guy. And she said, red meat. Wow. Yeah, which kind of meat? She said, I don't know, red meat, mostly beef. Okay. And I said, okay. So, okay, he will eat red meat. And I said, where from? And she said, I don't know. Right? So that is the thing. She pretends I feed my kids with meat, but she doesn't have a little paper to tell me which are the growers of the region of that time. She doesn't even care, right? She just said, yeah, red meat, go beef. I can buy beef everywhere. You can eat Big Mac. Following your thing. That is the thing. It's dangerous, right? My ego, self-esteem, sorry. I do have self-esteem, so I look after me and my friends and my kids and everything, but not all of us. No, we don't all have the power to do it, all right? There are people that just listen to you, and because you are a doctor or a witch, anything, they trust you completely, right? And it doesn't work, because supermarket beef from Argentina or something like that is not healthy meat, because you get iron. I look a little bit like a EP guy now, but you get iron, but you also get antibiotics, you get steroids and stuff. So what does it mean eating red meat, right? So if your statement is so short, say vaccination, yes, do it. Red meat, do it. But you need to give me. Or if you don't know, you need to be honest and say, I will send you to a nutritionist, someone that is part of it, right? She doesn't care. She's got like red meat. Wow, that is, it's just red meat. There's the magic, red meat, iron. Beans, not enough iron. Yeah, it depends which beans you eat and how many, the amount of beans you eat. Wow, she's coming to fuck me. Yes. Can do this?
Do it. But I have to cut you down because they are saying that we are super running out of time. Fine. But you will be involved in the conversation that is coming, that you can actually, it will involve a lot of your thinking.
Can I have one more thing? 2 minutes? Because
for me, I don't know what is the patience of the organizers. I was just like, chef, yeah. time. And
but I just want to leave you. I got a present for you. Because I'm a magician.
But 2 minutes, I'm counting.
Okay. So there's no slide here, because our slide today, they comes from here, right? So that's what I want, that's what I had this morning, okay? That is, but to make it clear, because we all going to be, these are super, we didn't use it, They were on the floor on the breakfast, right? They were on the floor on the breakfast. I count 7 of them, no, something like that. No one used it, right? People was walking, get their gloves, and just wipe them out, and not even, right, pick them up, right? This is food as well. That's where everything comes. That is something that we don't care. And it's not the politicians, it's not your prime minister or that he walks on that. We all did it, right? We need to wake up. It's us, it's not other people. That's what I found this morning. Reusable gloves.
But it's not reusable, I believe.
Yeah, of course, if you put on the floor, you're not going to use them because the floor is dirty. But what is our consciousness? What about our soul? We are clean? I don't think so.